I welcome everyone. I would like to reflect a little on the market situation. We see that volatility has decreased. And in principle, again, on many instruments, the situation is quite dull and uninteresting. The dollar, as expected, is under pressure. And here, it is unlikely that we should expect any changes. Gold is in demand, although it has already corrected lower. But what is the problem now? We have seen and heard many statements from Trump. He raised tariffs. Sometimes he raises them, sometimes he suspends them. He slows down, supposedly negotiating with someone, while the other side says there are no negotiations. And all of this really instills some kind of ambiguity regarding the prospects, what to do, how to trade. Well, overall, the dollar, most likely it may remain under pressure, but again, this will depend on how successful these tariff negotiations actually are. If there are any mutual cancellations, agreements, and so on, they might. Indeed, all of this will benefit the US economy, and everyone will rush back to the dollar. But in my opinion, everything is not as good for the dollar, I would say, because all these abrupt actions that have taken the world out of, let's say, this comfort zone, the world that was in one state has now exited that state and is trying to enter into some new state, while still few people know what this new state will be and what it all smells like, what will happen next. There will be some truly changing alliances. Yes, maybe Europe and China, maybe, I don't know, perhaps Europe will align with the global south or other options. USA, how will the USA behave? In this case, it's also unclear. Honestly, it's quite difficult to say anything here, to analyze something, because everything has fundamentally changed. Or Trump might again take the path where he starts to slowly roll everything back, unwind, and so on. That is, who will blink first, or if he will indeed play hard. But we understand that China will not play along. That's a fact. I mentioned this before, even before Trump's inauguration. I said that China will not concede. It will be it's essentially a game of who will blink first and who will flinch first. And China is not going to do that. And by the way, there is a chance that Trump might flinch after all. But again, we can only speculate, express our opinions, some guesses, thoughts. But what we can say with more or less confidence is that as long as the dollar remains vulnerable, the position of gold on the decline will most likely be bought up. But it has gone quite far. The correction might be more serious than it is now. Oil is still in a vulnerable position. And what else can be said? Yen, Franc, they will most likely continue to be in demand. Well, we will watch and adapt to the situation. Well, naturally, if the situation with China escalates, the Australian dollar and the same New Zealander, we will keep an eye on it. Thank you.